Persona 4 was hands down one of the best RPGs for the PlayStation 2 in my self-proclaimed professional opinion, and that's an opinion you can trust. It was one of those games I loved so much that I wanted more. So when I found out that there was a fighting game being developed based around Persona 4, and to some extent Persona 3, I thought, oh my god, they're not going to localize this, are they? Luckily I was wrong and they did localize it. And let me tell you something. This game is really good. And with that in mind, let's get into my review. Considering that this game is based off of an RPG and is developed by Arc Systems, a company that always seems to deliver story goodness in their fighters, I fully expected a well-done story mode for Persona 4 Arena, and I was right. Thank you, Arc Systems and Atlus, for delivering a good story mode in a genre that's hell-bent on ignoring that aspect of the game entirely. Persona 4 Arena takes place 2 months after the events of Persona 4, with the main character, now officially named Yu, coming back to Inaba during Golden Week to see his friends again. And this would be a fantastic reunion, but horrible shit seems to happen every time this man enters a town, and thus we have our plot. Rumors around town start surfacing that the Midnight Channel has returned. You and the others look into this and, lo and behold, it's true. But instead of people getting thrown into TVs and killed, it's a fighting tournament. Doesn't seem as harmful as a series of murders, but whatever. The investigation team reforms and they hop back into TV land to discover what's going down. Oh, and some Persona 3 characters hop into the TVs too. Everybody wants some of that TV action. Now, the base plot is interesting. Remember Persona 3 Fez? Well, this is kind of like Persona 4 Fez. Each character has their own story mode. Granted, a lot of the plots are very similar to one another, so the plot is essentially the same in every character's story, it's just from their perspective. This bothered some people, but I liked it to an extent. I liked seeing the story from the perspective of all the characters, as it was interesting to see what goes down through their eyes, and you also gain a lot of insight into whatever character you're playing as. With that said, seeing similar events play out over and over again can get a little boring, but it's not enough of an issue for me to throw a hissy fit over it. A lot of the story is voiced, with a lot of the other parts of the story being just, well, text. This irritated some people, and I can see why, because I mean, who wants to read? Fuck that. Again, though, not a huge issue in the grand scheme of things. A good aspect about the story is that it does a good job of getting people who may not have played Persona 3 or 4 caught up on what's going on and who these characters are and what they're doing. But my favorite part of the story has to be the inclusion of the Persona 3 characters, because certain things revealed while playing through their stories leaves the overall plot open to a possible continuation that could involve characters from Persona 3 and 4, should Atlus want to act on this. And that would be sweet, though it probably won't happen because my glass is half empty, but if you guys want to fill it up with a new Persona game, then that'd be cool. In any case, the story mode of Persona 4 Arena is very well done. It's interesting, gives insight into all the characters, and it's also just nice to see these guys back in action. If you've played Arc System Fighters before, you won't have too much of an issue jumping into this title. But before I get into how the game plays, I want to do a rundown of the game's game modes, because holy crap, look at all these game modes! First we have the Lesson Mode, which will teach you the basics of the gameplay. That's a good place to start. Next we have Story Mode, which I already praised to death. So next we have Arcade Mode, which is as the name implies. But as a bonus, Arcade Mode also contains some story elements in it, so if you want an abbreviated version of the story, there you go. Next we have Score Attack Mode, in which you try to get a high score, I think, but really I think this mode is, man, I fucking hate Yosuke mode. All the opponents are really tough, and they make me sad. So let's ignore it. Next we have Training, in which you can train. Yeah! Then we have Challenge Mode, where you can complete challenges. Self-explanatory shit. I love this. Next we have the Online Mode, where you can fight online. The Store Mode, which lets you buy stuff. I've been ignoring this game mode so far. The Theater Mode, which lets you watch replays from online fights. The Gallery Mode, which lets you look at various art and videos. And Options, which lets you option stuff. So yeah, there's lots of shit to choose from. And now we can talk about how the game plays. As I said, if you played an Arc System fighter in the past, the game will feel familiar. The air dashing, the comboing, the burster-ing, you get the idea. The game has 13 characters, and like with other Arc System fighters, each character plays in their own unique way. You, for example, is a good all-around character. Chie, on the other hand, kicks shit. Naoto can play a good keep-away game, and Teddy, well, I'm not really sure what the fuck he's doing, but you get what I'm saying. The characters all have distinct styles, so you'll most likely pick one character that you really like and stick with them. Now, Persona 4 Arena is a 4-button fighter. You have a light and heavy regular attack, a light and heavy Persona attack, combining certain attacks together with form combos, you have special moves, you can do supers, and yada yada yada. You guys know how fighting games work. Though there are some unique elements to Arena's gameplay. For one, we have what is basically an auto combo. By hitting the light attack repeatedly, you'll do a combo, and if you have enough meter, you'll automatically cancel into a super. Now, some people say, oh, you can't have the auto combo in the game because that makes it too easy, and fucking hate this game. I can't speak English, and look, stop talking. The auto combo is completely reasonable given the audience for this game. Yes, a lot of fighting game fans are going to pick this up. That's a given. But a lot of Persona 4 fans are going to want to play the game too. And considering Persona 4 was an RPG, a game type that doesn't take a huge amount of execution, maybe that audience would be put off by a complex fighter. The auto combo allows these fans to get in, know just the basics of the gameplay, and be able to play the game without studying up on it. And should they want to learn more, then the depth is there. There's a lot of combo potential and cool mix-ups that you can pull off by integrating your persona into your attacks, and you can do some really sick shit. The auto combo also isn't broken, as all things considered, it doesn't really do a ton of damage, and against a more experienced player, you won't really be able to get away with just doing that and winning a match. Some other unique elements are those that are taken from the Persona games. Of course, we have the Personas, whose abilities will vary character from character, but they can be useful in their own way. Use Persona can shoot projectiles and can also be used to lock down an opponent, which may sound broken, but to even this out, you can hit your opponent's Persona. Doing so 4 times will temporarily break that Persona so your opponent can't use them for a bit. Another cool element is the all-out attack. If you land this, you get to kick the crap out of your opponent and even launch them into the air to continue the combo. And of course, we have one-hit kill moves. Now, these aren't unique to Persona 4 Arena, but they're neat. That neatness only made more so by the fact that I landed one in an online match, which I felt pretty fucking good about. Speaking of online matches, though, you like that segue? Me too. The game has online play, and it's really good. Initially, I was worried because it seemed like it was taking a really long time to get into a match, but that only happened like once. The actual matches played very smoothly, which I was impressed with. Though I was playing on the PS3 version. The 360 version apparently has lots of issues, but I don't know if they've been resolved as of yet. But I'm not having problems, so there you go. All in all, though, the gameplay of Persona 4 Arena is very impressive. It has enough content to satisfy people who don't just want to play online matches nonstop, and the online play is great for the people who do want to do that. Well, play online, I mean. Except for the 360, I guess, but they're gonna fix that, so yay. There are so many aspects about this game's presentation that I could praise that I don't even know where to start, except I do because I'm starting with the characters. The characters look fantastic. They animate beautifully to the point where I sometimes get more interested in staring at them instead of paying attention to what's actually going on in the match, which, as you can imagine, doesn't end well. The stages are very detailed and have lots of stuff going on in the background, whether it be shadow people walking about or televisions. Hell, even the menus, character select screen, versus screen, the newly designed character portraits with brand new lip moving technology that can only be done on HD consoles, it all looks so good. The game just bleeds Persona and I love it. But the bleeding doesn't stop at the aesthetics because everything about the sound is amazing too. Voice acting is very well done. They got most of the original voice actors to reprise their roles for the English dub, with the only exceptions, I believe, being that of Chie and Teddy. There could be some others, I'm not entirely sure, but Chie and Teddy's new voice actors do a fine job. Do I miss the old ones? Yes, especially in the case of Teddy, but they're by no means terrible. The returning cast also provides better vocal performances than they did in the original games. Yukiko is a great example. In Persona 4, she had so many lines that just sounded terrible. But now she sounds great, so kudos to them. But hey, if you don't like English voice acting because of blah, you can turn on the Japanese voices, so whoop-de-doo. The music is amazing. It's all taken from Persona 4 and 3, and there's also some really nice remixes thrown in too. Just sitting at the main menu and listening to the music play makes me want to pop in Persona 3 and 4 and do another playthrough of them. It's good shit. Best track in the game has to be the Velvet Room's remix though. It just sounds so sick. Overall, the presentation is simply amazing. It's spot on in every way that counts, and I love it. All things considered, Persona 4 Arena is an amazing game. It should appease those who just want a new fighting game, and it will also definitely appease those who just want some more Persona goodness. That being said, is it perfect? No, few things are. But if you like fighting games, Arc System Fighters to be specific, or if you love Persona, or hell, if you love both, this is a must buy. So go and buy it. Godspeed. Also, I'm not giving games scores anymore, so, the game's really good. You should buy it. I don't know. This has been a review. Thanks for watching.